The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Yeah. Well, good morning, y'all, and welcome back to Coffee Time with Blind United. It is Monday, so I got my girl Letha with me and Carol. So good morning, ladies.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
All right. So anyway, just a little quick note. George will not be doing his groups this evening. He actually has some family stuff going on down there. So I just send your prayers his way, and we'd appreciate that. But he will be back with us soon. So on that note, everybody had a good weekend. Letha, Carol, y'all good?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Carol. No. You go ahead.
No, my weekend was pretty good. I got some rest this weekend.
Hey, sometimes that's the best type of weekend. For me, I got out and did a little bit and, entertained a couple of friends that shot through and just had a good time. It was good weather, good food, good fun. And, it's Monday again, so we're starting it all over.
Sound like I should have been your way, Carol.
Hey, you're welcome anytime.
Hey, well, I mean, for me out here, we had a little thunderstorm on Saturday. It hit and started. I don't know if y'all seen it in the news, that club fire.
Yes.
But it also knocked out my power for, I don't know, from 9 in the morning to about 3 in the afternoon. So,
no.
Luckily my house was very well insulated. So, because it was hot.
Right.
I know.
So luckily I was still cool in the house. I didn't have no power, but hey, no problem. It's time to take a nap.
Right.
Laid my butt down, and I could hear when my electronics started firing back up. I was okay. It's time to get up. But other than that, I got a bunch of work done on Sunday. So just another day. Like I say, my weeks never stop. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do Monday through Friday with y'all here in Coffee Time and all these interest groups, and then when I can, I get some rest on the weekend. But normally I'm doing something Blind United related, trying to make something happen for us. So
you're a marathon man, Ed. I don't know how you do it, but I'm appreciative of all that you do. Believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I just do it because it comes from my heart, and and it's a passion of mine to try to bring the community together. Hence the name Blind United.
Right.
The whole concept of us speaking with one voice and all that. Because again, that's the only way we're gonna get anything done is when we all speaking with that one voice. So
you're right. Like you say, it's spread around. You're in California. I'm in Texas, and Aletha's in Florida. So it's uniting blind for real.
Well, no matter where you're at, pretty soon we will hopefully, because of time zones and all that kind of stuff, but I'd love to have some, folks from other countries pop up in here in the chats or whatever, it'd be nice, pop up in the interest groups. It'd be great there as well, so.
Yeah.
But
England, Africa, if you're listening, come on in.
Hey, come on in, no matter where you at. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if all we speak is English over here. We got some folks to do a little bit of Spanish, but hey, maybe we can accommodate something in your time zone. You can start an interest group where you at, using our platform and bringing folks in your side of the country together with our side of the country. So
right.
So who knows? The potential is there. Just we got to get people to move on it, right?
True.
So So, but anyway, we're going to get into this first article. It's about the housing market. I mean, I know it's not, a big thing within our community. I mean, we all want to have a home. It took me a bunch of years before I was ever actually able to buy a home, and then they started skyrocketing and stuff. But again, the prices are kind of stabilizing now. There's potentially the interest rates are going down. So check this out, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
Grab your first cup. It's coffee time with Blind United. The U.S. housing market has been in a strange holding pattern lately. Prices are still high, mortgage rates have been stubborn, and buyers and sellers alike are wondering what's next. So the Coffee Time crew gets into this keycap one with CNN business writer Samantha Delouya, who covers housing and the economy. She shared some insights that might help you navigate the current real estate landscape. Hot and cold, Florida and Texas, once red hot during the pandemic buying frenzy, are now seeing some of the steepest price drops. But in the Northeast and Midwest, it's a different story. Fewer homes are hitting the market and prices are still inching upward. It's a reminder that real estate is deeply local and trends vary widely depending on where you're looking. Mortgage rates. There's a glimmer of hope here. Rates have dropped to their lowest level in nearly a year, and some economists believe they could fall below 6% if the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates. Fed Chair Jerome Powell hinted that a cut could be coming soon. Still, some buyers who jumped in last year expecting lower rates are still waiting for that relief. Buying and selling. After years of sellers holding the upper hand, Delouya says the tide may be turning. The fever that gripped the housing market seems to be breaking, and that's creating a window of opportunity, especially for first-time buyers. If you've been waiting for your moment, this might be it. Impact of tariffs. There's another factor at play, one that's easy to overlook. A report warns that tariffs on Canadian goods, including lumber and other construction materials, could add as much as $14,000 to the cost of building a home. That's a big hit for buyers and builders alike, and it's a reminder that global trade policies can have very real effects on local housing affordability. Words of wisdom. With so much uncertainty in the economy, Delouya offers a simple but powerful piece of advice. Make sure you're financially secure before locking yourself into monthly mortgage payments. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of buying a home, but stability matters more than ever. What do you think, BU crew? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
Well, I mean, again, it just depends on what part of the country you live in as far as actual value. I mean, I think the important thing here is, that, well, I mean, we've done a few different articles on this before. I mean, one big issue right now is you got a lot of these Wall Street folks that are running around and they buying up property cash, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're putting, the average person out of the market,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, again, you can go and find a house, depending on where you're at, just as a number. Let's say you find it for 200, and because they're investing in that area because they want to have either rental property or because their information shows them, oh, that's a stable rental area, or that's a good area for Airbnb because there's a lot of vacation tourist stuff in that area. So bottom line, they'll come in and say, okay, well, we'll give you 210, 220, and just kick you right out the market. You know what I'm saying? So it makes it really hard. I mean, the interest rates haven't gone down. I mean, I'm so glad I'm locked in where I'm at. I mean, they talking about 7% right now. They talking about it's coming down.
Ooh.
Man, I mean, okay, well, I locked mine in at 4.7. I'm good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side of that, because of the way the property value went up, I ain't being honest. I'm thinking about my sell mine. I got my retirement money. I done earned it. You know what I'm
Right.
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can take mine and go sit down with, a couple $100,000 and just chill, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, again, this is something that everybody should strive to do. I should say. I believe it because that's anybody that really has money. A lot of it all came from real estate. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Real estate has always been a great investment. It's always been a great wealth builder for a lot of folks and so
Mhm.
on. So if you ever get the opportunity, man, I mean, there's programs out there. We have a lot of information on, even being disabled. There's ways you can go buy property. Like, for us, we could go buy like a duplex, triplex, a small apartment complex, right? And we can use the income that that property brings in as income to qualify for the loan. So I mean, there's just different ways to do it. I mean, hopefully these programs don't get cut out. I ain't got a whole lot of faith in that, but they got programs, where being under housing authority, right? Section 8, especially under the government side of it, you can turn that voucher into a purchaser thing where now that money that they're subsidizing you for where you live would actually be going towards the purchase of where you live, rather than just paying rent. So, just depending on where it is, if you're in a house or whatever, of course you ain't gonna get that in housing, But I
Right.
mean, there's opportunities out there. Is my point. So anyway, I know you also got your home, Carol. So what you got to say?
I mean, I do, and I'm grateful that I do. I bought my house when I was in my 20s, and of course, I still have my vision and stuff, but of course, trying to purchase one now would possibly be different, because now I'm on SSDI, and it's only certain things that they allow you to have, you
Yeah.
know of course, having to get rid of my cars, my motorcycle, different things of that sort, because they just don't want you to have things of assets, So my home, even though I get several calls, or letters in the mail and little flyers where people want to buy my home. I mean, I'm just at the age at 60. I'm not going to start over. Why would I leave some place with no mortgage to start all over? So I'm
Mhm.
grateful just at the time when I did come in, because the houses now in my neighborhood, once the elderly have passed on and the children already have their home, they're just selling and trying to make money. And these houses are
Mhm.
just unremarkably overpriced.
Mhm.
I mean, the appraisal of my home right now is ridiculous. When I bought my home, it cost $25,000, and I thought that was a lot of money back then. And putting principal on it instead of a 25 or 30-year mortgage, 12 years, I was out of there. You know, and that was just from information that friends had gave me of how to go ahead and just get this off of your back. But
Mhm.
what is worth right now, to me, it ain't worth it. But that's just the market that we live in right now. And you're right, Ed. A lot of these places, people are sending these marketing companies in. They're making them out of Airbnbs. They're buying them away
Yeah.
from other individuals that are qualified for it. They just don't have enough credit to purchase it. So
Mhm.
and nowadays things are just so overpriced to where, like, me being single and no children, there's no way in the market that's out there now that if I decided to get a home, I could, because you basically got to live with someone in order
Yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
afford what they have out there.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's like they don't want you to own anything. So if you have something, please hold on to it. And if you find a way where you're able to purchase something, do that and pay attention to those appraisals. If you are in the blind, visually impaired community or disabled community, sometimes you have an exemption depending on not being able to pay taxes for your property, just depending on how much it costs. You may not pay anything for taxes, just depending on your age or, like I say, how much your property cost. But you have to pay attention to that. And if you don't think that what they've allocated as far as the pricing of what your home is worth, you can fight that. And especially if you added upgrades and things of that sort. I think that the American dream is to own a home, and to just be able to live life in a way where you're not really struggling. And everyone wants to purchase a home, I think. So if they make it accessible to you and don't cut out some of these programs that can aid and help you, why not go for it?
Well, I know it's not necessarily everybody wants to buy a home nowadays because that's another reason I'm thinking about selling mine. You just got some folks out there. I mean, and it ain't just the ones around me. It's showing that the younger generation they're more of what they call a nomadic workers. They're cyber workers. They work from here. They work from there. They
Right.
move around. So they're not necessarily interested in owning a home, right? They just
Hmm.
move around wherever the job takes them. I mean, you got a lot of them folks down in Mexico, and Mexico putting an end to that. They say, oh, no, you ain't finna come down here to live and then make your money in America and pay your taxes in America. No, you're going to make your money. If you're going to live here, you're going to pay taxes here. So
Oh,
Right.
wow.
Right.
I ain't mad at them, though.
No, I'm not.
I
Make
really
your
ain't.
make your money.
Right.
So
Fair is fair.
go ahead, Letha. What you got, baby?
Um. So I am one of the people that don't want to own a home.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I am. I am because I see everything that my dad is going through owning his home, and he lives in Florida. And Carol, I am in South Carolina, but I'm thinking about moving back down to Florida. Um, and I would inherit that home. So I'm looking at I'm looking at everything that me and my sisters will inherit. And
Right.
it's expensive. It is expensive. My dad, I think he paid like 22,000 to get a roof on the house. He
Oh, yeah.
just paid $1,700 to just get the kitchen repainted. Like he has to buy all new appliances. This coming out this man pocket. You know what I'm saying? The
Yep.
taxes on the
Oh,
house,
yeah.
insurance on the home itself.
Yeah.
He pays $3,600 for his insurance on
Yeah.
his
A
home
year.
A
Hmm.
a
year.
year.
Yeah. A
So
year.
and then his taxes on the house, it's not really that bad. I think it's like 17.95. That's what he pays for his taxes on the house. But I mean allocate all of that, and the expenses that you pay per year on owning a home, any repairs that you have to pay, any foreseeable anything. I'm not really trying to buy a home on my own and then happen to, whatever I may inherit, the home and everything. I'm inheriting all the bills. Basically. So
Right, right,
I
right.
thought about that, but it's expensive to live in Florida. It is very expensive to live in Florida. And for some reason, everybody wants to move down south.
When they
So
retire, especially, that's where the retirees normally like to go to Florida. But you're right, it's
it
expensive.
it's not just the retirees because my dad complains every day. Every day, y'all. I promise he do. I promise. He was like, it's tripled in like 4 years, Alita. Everything has tripled. But the houses, the buyers, the people, the traffic, everything is tripled. And I can understand. So what I was going to say about the housing market for the North and the South is it's dropping in the South, they so-called say, but it's not really a dramatic drop in Florida. I don't know. I can't talk about no other state. I don't know about Texas. I don't know about Georgia. I don't know, but Florida is not dropping tremendously. 7% is ridiculous. 6% is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm not in a hurry to buy a home at all, and I'm not really in a super big hurry to inherit this home because of
Well,
the expenses. And he told us, like, I'm trying to get everything did, before I go, so you don't have to have those expenses on you when I go. You know what I mean?
I hear
And,
you.
and and you're absolutely right. I mean, people think I have all this extra money because I don't pay rent, but you're right. You have all these other expenses. My house has been here since 1942.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I've replaced the roof. I had a gas
Mhm.
leak,
There's a
so I
lot of
had to have
maintenance
the
and upkeep. Maintenance
yeah,
and
Mhm.
upkeep.
maintenance and
It's gonna
upkeep
kill you.
is
You know.
extremely
So
Yeah.
expensive. I mean,
yeah.
they
So
laugh at me because I have 40-year appliances and
Yeah.
they're Kenmore. They've lasted. I bought them from Sears and Roebuck. But I mean, when it's time to upgrade, and they're so old that the insurance won't cover them. You know, you can have American Home Shield and things of that. They're too old to even be covered there. And
oh
you're
yeah.
right.
Mhm.
And you're right. Insurance on the home. I have to have it. You know,
You're
but
absolutely right. You're
when
Mhm.
I
absolutely
add
right.
all of those maintenance things up, oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm paying more than some of these people that are living in a little small condo.
Well, it's
You
like
know,
it's just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yes,
if you're gonna own it, you got to be able to afford it. You know what I'm
that's right.
saying? I mean, just even cars, whatever it is. When you buying something like that, you go buy them a big old Mercedes or whatever. You got to be able to afford a Mercedes. I mean, it's not only the payment, but the upkeep and all this other
Hmm.
kind of stuff. So. Again, they got it set up now with these different warranties and whatnot. But like you said, when your stuff is older, you can't get all that kind of
You
stuff.
can't
So
get it. No.
anyway, let's move on. I'm gonna get a couple promos in, and then we're gonna jump into our next article.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United. You can go to customcane.com. That's custom with a K, guys. And what Custom Cane does is they sell cane and cane accessories. It's like Burger King. You can have it your way. You can get a pink cane, a blue cane, a rainbow cane, a Broncos cane, a Chargers cane, a cane with the Braille alphabet, a cane with your name on it. Whatever you want, whatever type of handle you want, whatever type of tip you want. If you want an aircraft aluminum cane, if you want an all-terrain cane, telescoping cane, any type of cane, Custom Cane has it.
Well, it's for those that Again, I always support Jimmy. Jimmy is doing a lot of good work back there in Tennessee. Well, he's in Tennessee, but his work is reaching out across the country, across the world, in these third world countries. Jimmy is literally putting canes in the hands of people who would not otherwise be able to get one. And I'm going to support him because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my cane. So it's hard for me, to imagine living life with never having a cane, walking around with a stick or a piece of pipe or, just something you can reach out on a branch, whatever,
Right.
I just can't imagine that, man. So, I always want to support Jimmy and everything he does. So, this next one is about another, some feel good stuff. Let me tell you about this guy. Speaking about Florida, it's a gentleman down in Florida called Mr. Bill, and check this out. This is what this man done started doing.
You crew, grab your second cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this second article. Let's talk about generosity, the kind that grows from the ground up. In north central Florida, a 96-year-old retiree named Mr. Bill Brown has spent more than 3 decades feeding his community, one harvest at a time. It all began in his backyard. Mr. Bill planted a garden to stay active after retirement, and before long, he had more vegetables than he could eat. So he started sharing. Neighbors would stop by for tomatoes, cucumbers, and squash, and Mr. Bill would greet them with a smile and a bag full of fresh produce. I just couldn't let good food go to waste, he said. That simple act of kindness didn't stop there. Over time, Mr. Bill's garden grew into a traveling food bank that now serves families across more than 10 counties. With the help of volunteers, many of whom were once recipients themselves, Mr. Bill delivers food to those who need it most. For a suggested donation of $10, families receive about $150 worth of groceries. That includes fresh fruits and vegetables, pantry staples, and household essentials. One volunteer, Maria, shared how she first met Mr. Bill when she was struggling to feed her children. He handed me a box of food and said, "Don't worry, we've got you." I never forgot that, she said. Now she helps pack boxes every week. By the middle of this year, Mr. Bill and his team had already served 1.5 million meals. That's right, 1.5 million meals, all coordinated by a man who's nearly a century old. And he's not slowing down. Helping is contagious, he told us with a chuckle. I'm too busy to lay down and die. His days start early. He's often seen in his straw hat, checking inventory, greeting families, and cracking jokes. You'd think at my age I'd be sitting in a rocking chair, he laughed. But I've got work to do. Mr. Bill's story is more than a tale of food. It's a story of community, resilience, and heart. His food bank doesn't just feed people, it brings them together. It's a reminder that one person, with a little extra produce and a lot of compassion, can make a lasting impact. What do you think, BU crew? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
I mean, I just think people like this are just totally amazing. I mean, I think they're a gift from God. Here we go. This man retired. He's been doing this for 30 years. So he says he's retired, 63. He started doing this, got him a little garden going on. And now 30 years later, he's got, basically, an outreach where he's a food pantry where he's feeding people in so many different counties around him. I mean, it just just one act of, started just off a simple act of giving has grown into a big thing where he's feeding hundreds of people. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's just amazing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yes.
Like you say, if you just put a little bit in, he'll do the rest. You know what I'm saying? He'll make it happen for you, and this is, clear evidence of, that, right? I mean, like I said, it started off with in his backyard. All that produce ain't coming from them backyards now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he got trucks going to all these different counties and stuff. I mean, it's grown into something that just occupies his time, I mean, he's able to now, all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's just great that he can make all of this happen. I mean, I wish more and more people had this type of mentality. I mean, a lot of people that claim to be Christians and all this, yada, 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 but yet they want to sit back and watch people starve. They want to sit back and let, people's safety nets get taken away and all this other kind of stuff.
Right.
This is a true Christian. This is a true, what I want to call patriot. I mean, he's feeding the people in his community, in his country, right? So I mean, this some great stuff. It's really, really great stuff. So I just wish more and more people would get with it. So what you think about it, Letha? Did I lose you, baby?
Is she still here?
I don't know. Go for it, Kel.
I mean, for me, at 96 years old, I mean, most people kicking it up on the couch, maybe sipping a can of Ensure and waiting on somebody to come change their diaper, but not this gentleman, Bill. He's doing something that most people that have the time to do it are doing. Can you imagine? Because you're right. People are starving. And, I can remember having in my backyard a little garden, nothing special, some greens, cabbage, tomato, bell peppers, little things like that. And to have fresh food, and then you've got all these trucks going over to something that you've invested in for 30 years to just feed people. People don't realize how we take food for granted. It really is people out there starving, and they cutting all these programs for these kids that are back in school, lunch programs and after school programs. Because, believe it or not, some of the parents, the jobs just don't give them enough income to be able to feed their family, and a lot of them don't qualify for food stamps. So they have to go to these pantries and try to find transportation to get a basket, even if they riding on the bus, to be able to just pick up food so that they can feed themselves and their families. So to just generously be able to give this out from the kindness of your heart, because you're right, I've been around people that profess to be Christians. I love everyone, but you're not getting involved in anything. You
Right.
can talk the talk, but you definitely ain't doing the walk. And I mean, churches that are in our communities, every Sunday we want to go up there and sit up in that pew and profess to, let all of our demons go and show how much we love the Lord. But when we get back outside, we're not showing that gratitude towards our fellow soul, you know, and it's needed. Just little bitty things like that. So if people would just gather in that building and come together and start doing things, this world would be a much better place.
I mean, of course, I agree with you, Carol. I mean, the sad part is, I mean, well, let's start with the blessing, because he's not alone. He's not the only man out here doing this. I mean,
Right.
a lot of community organizations, a lot of churches that do. Just because I say, a lot of people proclaim to be Christians but don't do nothing. But there is a lot of religious organizations out there that are doing a lot of great work. So I don't want to take nothing away from them.
And you're right. I know some down here,
But it just so happens that it's the ones that are getting the spotlight are the ones that are claiming and not doing. You
right,
know,
right.
that's the sad part. The second part of that is it's sad that we're live in a country that is so rich and has such an abundance, right?
Hmm.
That price, like you said, there's a lot of folks out there that just don't want to make enough wages. Why? Because corporate is greedy. Corporate don't want to pay enough people that they don't want to pay them a living wage where they can be able to afford their own, necessities in life.
Right.
Shelter and food and all this other kind of stuff. Just the basic necessities of life. So now that we have to have these social safety nets, and now again, these same so-called Christians are now cutting out those social safety nets.
Yeah.
Okay, well, where are we gonna get this food at now? I mean, these people you're not there to help them. You done did all these other things, but we got farms in America just going under right now. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? The funding that was taken away from them, helping other countries with, the AID, USAID program, that a lot of people don't realize when you took that money away, guess where them people bought the food that they gave to those other countries? Right here from our farms.
Yes.
Okay, those farmers were making money on that program. They were making, again, it's just so many different, it's backwards right now that we really, really, really need a lot more people like Mr. Bill.
Hmm.
We really do need, people like him to make some stuff happen for us. I mean, it's I mean, and thank God, I mean, I'm not a super religious person. Matter of fact, it took me a whole lot of years before 50 years of my life before I ever thought about a church. Well, I
Right.
mean, don't get me wrong, I've always believed, but I never wanted to belong to a church. I couldn't find one for me, it was always about, okay, I'm paying attention to the pastor. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I'm paying attention to the church. How much are you doing for the community versus how much you doing for yourself? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You got all these
Right.
people flocking up in here every Sunday, every Wednesday, every Saturday night, whatever the case may be, and they dumping money in the bucket. Well, okay, well, what are you doing with that? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, well, we need a new sanctuary. We got so many people coming. We need to be able to house, another 5,000 people,
The
because
building fund.
the building fund. Okay, well, what about the feed the hungry fund? What about,
Right.
house the homeless fund? All of these various kind of things. I mean, I'm grateful that, like the church that I finally ended up joining. Girl, I literally, as a blind man, used to work in the outreach. I would go up in there. They had a crew that would come through and pack the bags, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And then we had another crew that came in once we opened the doors, and we had a crew out front. They would help them through the what we call the House of Blessings, where they could go and get the clothing and whatever.
Right.
We had another room where they could go in and get dress clothing for, applying for jobs and all that kind of stuff. Had
Mm-hmm.
house goods, house, plates and dishes and stuff like that, cups and all that other kind of stuff. And then we worked in the backside because once they got through up front, then they would get in their car and they come around to the back, and we would literally put the groceries in their car for them, right?
Right. Right.
I mean, again, and they could come pretty much, well, we did it twice a week, and you could come once a month. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we had that many people, but at the same time, we had a lot of folks that were getting in on it. I don't want to, just totally kick some of corporate in the butt, but Frito Lay used to give us cases and cases and cases of chips.
Yeah.
Different folks do get involved, but a lot of times what they giving up is stuff that they can't really sell.
They can't sell it. Hmm.
you
But
know,
but it can be used. Like what you're saying. It happens down here too. There are some great churches, where they let people come and they have produce along with fresh vegetables and what hamburger helper and different things of that sort. But there is a lot of food as well, Ed, that's being wasted.
oh yeah,
I can remember going with some friends of mine. We went to Pearsall, Texas, and it was a farm where people could go out there and pick all of these vegetables. Now, what was wrong with these vegetables is they were too big for the store. They were shaped different, but they still were good to eat. These things they were allowing to just lay there and rot in the field. But the people in the community, if you needed some vegetables, you would go out there, eggplant, tomatoes, squash, bell pepper, all throughout these fields, but they were misly shaped. They weren't cute enough for the stores. You understand what I'm saying? But all of this
well,
was just wasted food that was still good, just didn't look right. Like some of the
right.
places where they have these canned goods, they bent. Somebody didn't drop them. You still can eat what's in there, but it's not cute on the shelf. So all of this food is just being wasted. But there
Right.
are programs where shoot, they don't care what that stuff look like. They just want to cook for their family.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, again, welcome back, Alita. But I
Sorry,
mean,
Robert.
again, you good. I mean, again,
Well,
you got these other folks. Like I said, they actually got community gardens and stuff like that. These are other people that's like Mr. Bill here that we talking about, right?
right.
They stood, I mean, I seen the thing where they had this one guy. They actually arrested him for trespassing because he went and actually cleaned out a vacant lot. He didn't
Yeah.
know who owned it. He didn't care about it. He went out there and cleared it out, got all the junk off the property, and turned all the dirt and all that kind of stuff. And then they started planting stuff. And now, the minute it starts feeding the neighborhood, now they want to come and charge him for messing with, some
That's
land that belong
crazy.
to somebody else. So,
Yeah.
but that's the way
Yeah.
our society is. That's the
It
way
is. Yeah, it's a sad world we live in.
so anyway, we got one more feel good article coming up for you after we get through with these promos we got for you next. Here we go.
Hey, coffee time crew, we got something new. Support the mission and look fresh too. Fresh rock that blue with the logo in white. Blind United shirts, yeah, they feeling right. Just 20 to hand and you're part of the cause. Helping blind folks level up, no pause cars. From Jaws with Andy to Hall Ace tips. Support group love and crochet kits. Movie nights rolling, the vibes are lit. Every shirt you buy helps all of it. So cop that tee, be proud to wear. You're lifting up lives with every pair. Email us now, don't let it slide. Info@Blind United or join the pride.
Have you ever wondered what it's really like to be blind? Ever wanted to ask questions but held back, afraid of offending? Blind United invites you to replace that fear with fun, learning and connection at our 4th annual walk. A mile in my shoes challenge. Join us Saturday, October 11th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Wayfinder Family Services, 50 Angeles, Vista Boulevard, Los Angeles. Experience everyday attacks blindfolded, like pouring a cup of water. Try assistive technology like screen reader computers and iPhones. Get a hands-on braille lesson and discover how independence is built every day. Smile, laugh, and learn alongside the blind community. No pressure, just pleasure. Help us build bridges, close gaps, and make connections. Walk a mile in my shoes and see the world in a whole new way.
I love that song. Both of those.
Yeah, I like them as
too.
well. I'm trying to get back down here to
the article, yeah. But yeah, if you
I mean,
all,
again, we just try to do what we can out here. I mean, the T-shirts that's going to help us support what we do, and walk a mile is what we do. I mean, this is one piece, one aspect of what we do. I mean, again, imagine, again, grabbing that family member, that friend, that's your spouse, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That just don't understand what it's like to live life in your shoes, right? I mean, no matter how many times you tell them, man, close them cabinets, close them drawers, you know what I'm saying? Don't move my stuff, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I,
all of these various things, this is where we bring it out and, okay, look, this is why, you know what I'm saying? But we have fun
Mm-hmm.
with it, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
it's funny. I,
So,
I had a company this weekend and they were saying, I told them don't move nothing. Of course they did. And they're like, what these buttons doing on this microwave when they were warming up the food? And I said, that's for me. Close your eyes. Now imagine
Right.
what you see. That's why I have a button to show me where the start
Mm-hmm.
and stop button is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, uh-huh.
well, I
How
mean,
do you know if your lights are on? You see this little thing here? Oh, I thought that was a remote control. Mash the bottom button. If it's making a screen, the lights on. If it the lights off. That's how I know.
Mm-hmm.
again,
So
we
make
got
sure you turn it off
devices.
when you get out of here.
And that's another thing. I mean, for people that don't understand how we are able to do this, we're gonna bring you out there. We're gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna show you how we do it. We're gonna give you a better appreciation for what we have to go through to live our best life. You know what I'm saying? And and again, have fun with it. No pressure,
Right.
just pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
Pleasure.
You got an opportunity to ask all the questions you want to ask, as long as you ain't asking no stupid stuff. I mean, because we are normal human beings, and a lot of things that humans do, you don't really need instructions on how to do that. You
Like
know,
bathing.
Right.
so,
How do you wash your
Right.
bag?
all that other
Same way
kind of
you
stuff.
do.
So anyway, we're gonna have a great time. So the actual registration form just came out today in the email reminders to where folks can register to come out and hang out with us. If you're in the Southern California, in the LA, Orange County, or San Bernardino County, we invite you to come out, bring your family member, a friend. Man, write to your city people. You know, if you got issues about what's going on in your city and the accessibility of it, man, challenge your mayor, your city council, whatever. Challenge them to come down and take that challenge. You know what I'm saying? I promise you, they'll have a whole new understanding in that next committee member meeting when you come in there and say, look, I need an audible signal on Sierra and Merle, okay, or whatever street you want to call it. They'll have a whole new understanding as to why. Trust me.
Right.
So anyway, we got, like I said, we got another feel good article here. This year actually happens to be a postal worker in Australia. Just acts of kindness is all this is, right? Check out what this guy did.
Hey VU crew, grab your third cup as the Coffee Time crew gets into this third article. Postal workers are the unsung heroes of our neighborhoods. They show up rain or shine, through heat waves, thunderstorms, and yes, plenty of S-dogs. But every now and then, one of them does something that reminds us just how thoughtful people can be. That's exactly what happened in Australia, where a postal worker named Singh turned a rainy day into a moment of kindness. It was a typical afternoon on Singh's route when the skies suddenly opened up. As the rain began to fall, he noticed a clothesline full of freshly dried laundry at one of the homes he regularly visits. Without skipping a beat, Singh paused his delivery, walked up to the line, and gently took down the sheets and towels, placing them under cover before they could get soaked. The homeowner, Verity Wandel, had left the laundry out by mistake and expected to come home to a soggy mess. Instead, she found her linens dry and neatly tucked away. I couldn't believe it, she said. It was such a small thing, but it meant so much. Singh didn't leave a note or knock on the door. He just did what felt right. And that's what makes this story so powerful. It wasn't about recognition, it was about care. Wandel later shared the story with her local community, and Singh quickly became a local favorite. Neighbors began chiming in with their own stories. One recalled how Singh once helped an elderly resident carry groceries up a steep driveway. Another mentioned how he always waves to the kids and remembers their names. He's more than our mailman, one neighbor said. He's part of the neighborhood. Even Wandel's dog, who usually greets Singh with a chorus of barks, seems to have warmed up to him. Now she just wags her tail when he walks by, Wandel laughed. I think she knows he's one of the good ones. Singh's story reminds us that kindness doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. A simple gesture, like saving someone's laundry from the rain, can brighten a day and strengthen a community. It's the kind of moment that makes you pause and smile, and maybe even look for your own small way to help someone else. So next time you see your mail carrier, maybe offer a wave, a thank you, or even a dry towel if it's raining. You never know what small act might make a big impact. What do you think, VU crew? Now back to the Coffee Time crew for their thoughts.
I mean, again, it's just, like you say, acts of kindness. I mean, I don't know if I'd have went that far as to go up and, I'm coming on your property anyway to put the mail in your box, I assume, right?
Right.
Some places the mailbox is out at the curb. So, but I mean, I grew up with a postman that walked the neighborhood, right? He had that little cart that he pushed down the sidewalk. And he'd stop and, drop the mail in your box whether it was an apartment building or a house or whatever. But Bill, he was Bill was always a good dude. I mean, whenever he'd stop and talk with you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He was again part of the neighborhood. Why should he not be? If that's his route, you want to know who that postman is. You want to be friendly
Mm-hmm.
with that postman for several reasons. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's walking by and he says something strange at your house. Remember, this man walked past your house
Mm-hmm.
at least 5 days a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
he knows your neighborhood. He knows your house. He knows your routines and stuff like that just because he's walking by. If he sees something strange, don't you think he's going to call the police? Or you want to treat him nasty and then, you know what, it's good for them. They got robbed. Okay. Whatever. I mean, it could happen, right? That's why we all need to treat each other with kindness. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's a good point. Yeah.
it's just that simple. I mean,
Yeah.
just because I don't like you, don't mean I don't have that I got to be mean to you.
Right.
Right. Right.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be that kind of guy. I mean, I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me, but
Yeah.
generally, I'm gonna treat you the way I want to be treated
Pretty good.
until
Yeah.
you do otherwise.
Yeah. And I mean,
You know,
if we had that type of attitude throughout the world, we wouldn't have a lot of the problems that we have now. There's so many people that see stuff and don't say anything. There's so many people that don't care, they lack empathy. They lack, you know what I mean? Just the bare minimum of empathy or manners, or you know what I mean. They lack all of that these days, and it's
Mm-hmm.
not just the millennials, it's everybody, and it's moving through, and it's actually becoming a trend to film something, but don't say nothing, don't jump in, or don't put yourself in a position to be you know a help, or even help someone at the grocery store, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you see somebody that can't push their cart or can't put their groceries in, just be nice. That's like you said, Uncle Ed. Like, it's just you show the kindness that you would want shown to you. That's just
I mean, it's simply that easy. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Just treat people the way you want to be treated. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? That and
Mm-hmm.
it is catching. It'll catch
hmm
on. I mean, I look at what's going on right now with all of this ICE stuff and all of this. I mean, I'm noticing out here in California, a lot of these businesses now, they are locking their doors. They let people
hmm
in and then they lock the door.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Oh wow.
That way,
Wow.
these ICE agents can't come running up in there snatching
Yep.
people up. You know,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Because
it's
it's crazy
happening.
the way that they are doing that. You
Yeah, I
know.
mean, it's crazy that they're doing this
How
kind of
is
stuff.
it that how is that not illegal? Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna get into it, but I just
Right.
like that should be illegal. I don't
It
understand how.
technically
If
it
it's
is.
a public, if it's a business, if it's a public business, then anyone should have they have the right to walk
That
in. Now they don't have the right to
Well,
destroy
no,
your
no, no, no.
property
Let's
without a
clear.
warrant, right?
Let's hold on. No, no. Let's clarify.
Okay.
Walmart is a business that's open to the public,
mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
they're not allowed to rush up in there unless Walmart asks them to come in.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if it's
Okay.
publicly owned property, right? Like City
Mm-hmm.
Hall and different. If it's got any kind of taxpayer funding, then they can come up in there and do that. But
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
like all this stuff, like we're doing at Home Depot and stuff, they can't go up
Mm-hmm.
in Home Depot like that.
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
No.
yeah,
Okay.
again, because we
Educate
were
me. I mean, each one teach one, you
Yeah,
know.
privately
So
owned
I
corporations, they shouldn't be able to do those type of things, running in and arresting, or putting someone, detaining someone. I don't think they should be able to do that in a privately owned corporation or a privately owned
business
entity
period.
in a
business like a
business. Yeah,
restaurant or anything
Right.
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But
Because
see,
you want to feel like you're
on the
safe
flip side of
everywhere.
that, what's going to happen is corporate is going to bow down, where
Mm-hmm,
that little small business owner,
mm-hmm,
like again, there was one on the news last night where in a little out here little city out here right in the Compton area, is Linwood. Bottom line, they was up in a barbershop, and the barber locked the door. ICE was sitting there beating on the door. No, you can't come in here. They even came up with that, what they want to call it, an administrative warrant. See, now we're talking about legalities, right? An administrative warrant is not a legal binding document. If it's not issued by a judge, it is not a valid warrant. Okay? So they want to come put their little play warrant in the window, talking about, we have a warrant, let us in. Well, dude said, no. Finally, plus the crowd was building. Everybody was filming them from all these different angles and
in the parking lot, so they had to just bow down and leave out.
Bottom line, they bowed down, and as the First Amendment auditors call it, they took the walk of shame. They walked and got in their vehicle and got the hell up out of there with no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but again, we need people that needs to stand up for these people, because again, that's an act of kindness. Why? Because most of these folks that are getting rounded up, not only are Americans getting caught up in this, okay?
Right.
But most of these people are not violent criminals, okay?
Oh, no.
What he said they was coming out for. No, again, acts of kindness. These people are here to work. They here to make money legitimately. They work in them farms. Now the farms are going dead. They're rotting in the field. All the produce, that they're all captured agricultural stuff is rotten. Why? Because you done rounded up all the people that was working there.
Yeah.
How they got time to be out there committing crimes if they out there, doing your harvesting for, $15 an hour? Okay? If I was doing criminal acts to make my money, there's no way in the world I'm going to be breaking my back for no $15 an hour. It's just a whole different mentality. You understand what I'm saying?
But like you saying, it's just acts of kindness, like with the story with the postman. I try to get to know all of my postmen, even a woman, Jordan. And we have conversations. I receive, like books on tape. So a lot of them, they don't know what that is. When I put one out there, they'll leave it, but put mail in the box. So just having that conversation. And again, they're watching your home and they realize, okay, this individual is either visually impaired, blind, handicapped, or whatever it may be. They're paying attention to everything. And when you treat them with kindness, like these summers down here get hot in Dallas, Texas, to where we've lost quite a few postmen based on the heat, from heat-related illnesses. So my kindness is I'll give them, a half frozen bottle of water. Would you like some water? I keep a little cooler out there on my porch. It's got Gatorade and it's got water. And they know to just dig off in there and get it if I'm not outside.
Especially if, you out here, you rattling my mailbox. I know that's you.
And my security lets me know you out there.
Let me go and give you a little something, man. You thirsty? You need some water, whatever. I know it's hot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh, it's hot. You want some cocoa? You want some coffee? Something, Like I say, it's raining, man. You need a towel. I mean,
right.
All of that.
Because they come to my porch. They don't pull up on the driveway, so they actually walk my porch. So my notifications will let me know that it's a person, and I'll hear them at the box. Most of the time I'm sitting in the living room, and I try to make sure, hey, especially if it's someone new. Hey, this is a book. You forgot it yesterday. Oh, a book, and I open it up, show it to them, and we have a conversation from there. That what's your name? You delivering my mail, so you know my name.
Well, and it is good. Like I said, you should get to know the people that you see in the neighborhood all the time. A lot of people don't realize the UPS driver, a lot of FedEx drivers, all of these people, that's their route. So, mean, that's the same postal worker, the same UPS worker, when I'm talking about parcel service or FedEx or whatever. Most of the time, those people that's their route. They in your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Speak to them folks. You know what I'm saying? Because again, when they might be in your neighborhood and something go down and you might need them.
That's right.
So treat them right. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. I
do the same thing to my neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've been knowing them for years. So even if we don't do too much, other than hi and bye. How's everything? Everything's good. Everything good. Yeah, that's good enough.
Right.
But we
So,
watching.
well, we watching too. So, again, we at the end of our time for the day. I appreciate Aletha, Carol. I appreciate y'all coming in.
Appreciate
Aletha's
you,
going to
man.
be with us most of the week. She's got to take off tomorrow. Carol's got to be off Friday. So we covering for each other. Pedro's off all week. So, uh, again, that's what we do. We just try to help one another out and do what we do. So, we'd appreciate it if you'd help us out by like, subscribe, share, follow, comment. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes on whatever platform you on, please. It only takes a minute. Don't cost you a dime, but it helps us get the word out to so many more people. So, again, I would really appreciate it if y'all would, just do that little thing for us, right? Like I said, it ain't gonna hurt you. It ain't gonna cost you nothing. Again, we're just going to go in, do what we do. It just helps us get the word out as to what we do. I mean, again, for those that only listen to coffee time, I mean, that's all that's what we do. But coffee time is just a little one piece of what we do. We got interest groups that goes on almost every night. I mean, Letha won't be here with us on coffee time, but she'll be back with us tomorrow for her makeup application and skincare. Right behind her, we got another lady that's doing, a support group for women. Give you ladies a safe place to, you can talk about your makeup and skincare, and then you can go right on in and hang out and talk about, support each other as women. You know what I'm saying? And like I can only imagine life is hard for y'all because life is hard for me. So
Right.
knowing that the men are favored over women, I know it makes it a little bit harder on women. Y'all can go in there and talk about that. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. It's just a whole lot of different things y'all can talk about. But I'm just again, we're here to support one another. That's what we're here to do. So anyway, please help support us as we try to do our best to support you. And until tomorrow, everyone have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you on the next one.